Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Sorry it's been a while since I've updated you guys on the reef tanks. I ended up having my wedding and then going on my honeymoon, so I've been a bit busy. But there has been some changes to the reef tanks. I actually filmed a video last week of us adding sand. I wanted to kind of bring you along in that process. I realized I didn't film an intro for that, and I'm on a business trip, so I can't do that in my normal location. So just kind of film an intro here, but I'm going to piece together some of the video clips I have and then talk over some of the things as we go through them. So hopefully you'll enjoy this video. I think the tanks look awesome. Super happy with how they turned out with the sand, and I think you guys are really going to like it. Alright, so I've got the station set up here. I've already rinsed all this sand. The technique I use, so I just took one of our filter socks and I scooped the dry sand in. I would dunk it into this container of just fresh RO water, swish it around with my hand and such, move it to this other fresh RO water, swish it around with my hand again, and then I dumped it in these buckets. So we've got six buckets worth of sand here. This is something of like 250 pounds of sand, and we're going to start adding them to the downstairs tanks. They've been currently running bare bottom. There's been a lot of just stability issues with those tanks that we've dealt with, so we're hoping that adding sand is going to help with that. Also, I'm a big fan of sand. I think it looks better, so and I like to have some critters that you can have in the sand, like some wrasses and such. So I'm excited to add it and see what it looks like. So I'll bring you guys along in the process on how to do this for an established tank. Definitely want to rinse your sand before you go throwing it in, or it's going to cloud the tank up really bad. I'm going to use a funnel and some PVC pipe to drain it down into it. All right, so taking a look at how Mike and I added the sand to the tank. So we use the same method for the 3 downstairs tanks. So I've got a funnel, PVC pipe, and just that rinsed sand. It's really that simple. All we're doing is trying to minimize how much dust we're knocking up and keeping sand off the corals and the rocks. So this just makes it really easy if you've already got an established tank. I use the same method at my personal reef tank when I added sand. Admittedly, it went a lot smoother. This sand's a little finer grained, and I think because of that, it ended up causing the sand to really clump together, which made it very challenging to get through the hole in the funnel because the funnel wasn't as large. And I definitely could have given it an extra rinse or two. No issues with the dust in the tank. The corals did not mind. After it cleared out, everything looks really good, and you're going to see that. I'll show you some of the clips, and I talk through those as well of the before and the after. So yeah, so if you're doing this yourself though, maybe give it an extra rinse if you're worried about that. But again, no issues here, and just a really easy method for kind of getting the sand where you want it to be. All right, taking a look at this tank. So I mentioned before that I was going to do a whole lot of work on this one, and since the last video I have. So we've obviously added sand to the tank. I've done also an entire rescape. It's a lot more balanced now. It's a little bit hard to tell on video what exactly has happened. I'll try to throw some comparisons up for you, but I've gotten the rockscape much more balanced throughout it. I didn't have to remove any rocks, which was nice. And I've taken the leathers that were all kind of congregated in this left-hand side and spaced them out left and right. I pulled the torch that was in the center here, as well as the Christmas tree coral. I moved them to 1,000 just because this tank, I like the look of the leathers and the softies, and I really want to just lean into that vibe. So also really like with the side here, we actually opened this up quite a bit for coral placement. Tank was looking a little bit upset for the first day or two after placing the sand, but the corals are all looking pretty happy now and opened up. I've glued GSP across the back wall here, all those little bits that you see. So hopefully we're going to have full coverage GSP wall here in no time. Definitely some more corals to add, but so far really liking the look of this tank. I think the fish are really enjoying it too. Previously they would all kind of hide and congregate back here in the corner. Now they have just a whole lot more of caves to run through and kind of swim in and out instead of just all of them hiding in the corner. Really happy with this one. So as you see, we've also added sand to this tank. There are no rescape on this one. No real changes on coral placement or anything. The things that were struggling, like this Superman, are still struggling. We're still leaving it in there, hoping that we can get some recovery on it. This Ghani was actually really having a hard time, and lately has really perked back up and looking good. So I'm really hopeful that the sand's going to just add that stability factor and really just help this tank out. Since we've added the sand, just a heads up, like alkalinity on these tanks, this one and this one have been plummeting. So I've been over here every day since we added sand on just like 4 days ago, and I've lost about a DKH a day. I know it's a potential thing that can happen, but you don't really hear about it dropping as much, and it definitely did not happen like that for my tank. So if you do add sand to your reef tank, keep a heads up on your parameters. Make sure that you don't bottom out your DKH. All right, I think it's time to introduce you to the final reef tank of this house. So this is the bedroom tank. It's primarily filled with LPS and softies, and we just added sand to it this week. It's also looking really good, and it's been doing really well. So these hammers are the same ones that are in like the 1,000, as well as the other tanks. They've been just absolutely thriving in here. Huge colonies. I have the same ones in my tank as well, but these are just much larger. Big chunks of softies in here, some mushrooms. And then I recently added these guys from my tank, so these firework cloves, as well as some green pallies, just that I've had for quite a while now, and I have a whole bunch more growing in the tank, so I feel like trying to fill this corner here because that's where the clam was originally. But yeah, the sand's been added now for about 4 or 5 days, and the tank's really seeming to love it. So real happy. I think that the sand here is really going to make a difference for us on these tanks, and really just kind of bring that, like I said, that stability factor to another level for us. So hey guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry that it's jumping around a little bit from a hotel room to the reef tanks to me talking over and such. Definitely a little bit of mistakes on my end on filming this video for adding sand, but hopefully it still gets the point across of how great these tanks look, and the significance of having sand in your reef tank does for just how it looks, and hopefully stability as we move forward in these videos and tracking the progress of these tanks. Really think they look awesome. I'm very happy with how they turned out, especially with the rescape on the one, and excited to share the progress and the next steps with you of these reef tanks. So if you're still here and you like the video, please comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what you think of the tank. I'll see you in the next video.